The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals are the global gold standard for corporate responsibility. But for a manufacturing facility in the Philippines, this list can feel like an administrative nightmare. It starts with 17 broad objectives. This is the baseline. But those 17 goals branch into 169 specific targets. Each one requires its own set of policies and oversight. Tracking those targets pushes the list to 232 distinct indicators. For an individual factory, managing this volume of data is functionally impossible. This creates a dangerous stalemate. Doing nothing risks losing international clients, but attempting to execute on every single indicator dilutes your capital until the business becomes unviable. For a single facility, the everything strategy is an operational dead end. Strategic sustainability requires the discipline to stop trying to address every global issue at once. By setting aside 14 of these goals, you can consolidate the resources necessary to address the specific vulnerabilities that actually threaten your production lines. In the Philippine manufacturing sector, 3 specific goals represent the intersection of high environmental impact and immediate financial risk. These 3 goals, clean water, responsible production, and climate action, form the core operational dependencies of your facility. Long-term survival depends on moving past generic sustainability reports and focusing defensive capital investments on these 3 critical areas. We can evaluate these priorities using a strict framework: the capital input required, the business outcome achieved, and the unavoidable trade-off involved. We begin with SDG 6, clean water and sanitation. Your factory depends on reliable water access and directly affects the local watershed. The input is significant. You have to fund internal water recycling infrastructure and pay for professional watershed assessments to understand your supply risks. This investment secures a reliable water supply in a region where municipal infrastructure is often inconsistent. This ensures your lines don't stop during a drought. The trade-off is the diversion of capital from immediate production expansion. You are investing in defensive, often invisible infrastructure, which lengthens your overall financial payback period. While it doesn't generate new revenue today, SDG 6 serves as a necessary insurance policy against a complete operational shutdown. Next is SDG 12, responsible consumption and production. This goal addresses the physical materials moving through your shop floor. The input involves intensive auditing of your raw material sources and the cost of redesigning products or packaging for circularity. This creates your highest internal ROI. By reducing waste and optimizing material use, you lower your long-term overhead and disposal fees. The trade-off is significant short-term friction. You may need to replace reliable long-term suppliers who are unable or unwilling to meet your new sourcing standards. SDG 12 offers a path to a more profitable cost structure, but only if you are willing to disrupt established supply chain habits. Finally, SDG 13, climate action. This goal functions differently than the others, acting primarily as a severe external pressure. The input requires formal greenhouse gas tracking and a documented energy transition plan. The outcome is your continued access to the global market. International clients and institutional investors now require this climate data as a condition for doing business. The trade-off is a heavy administrative burden. You must hire specialized carbon accounting talent that does not contribute to your core manufacturing process. SDG 13 is resource-heavy and administratively complex, yet it has become the mandatory ticket for participating in the global export economy. These 3 goals occupy the high priority zone, where environmental impact meets operational relevance. But tackle order depends on your scale. Other goals are managed through existing compliance, sitting in a secondary category for new capital. For a local SME, your immediate priority is often baseline operational survival and cost control. In this scenario, prioritize SDG 12. Focusing on circularity reduces overhead immediately, while complex climate accounting can scale as your revenue grows. Enterprise exporters face a different reality. You operate under international standards, where climate compliance is a hard requirement. You must prioritize SDG 13. Global partners prioritize greenhouse gas data over local philanthropic efforts when deciding which suppliers to retain. Deep execution on these 3 goals will consistently outperform a shallow attempt to track all 17. Focus your resources where the environmental impact is greatest and the business risk is most acute. Industrial sustainability is a complex optimization problem. Identify specific operational constraints, measure progress honestly, and invest in metrics that secure your facility's future. To build a truly resilient manufacturing business, you must apply the discipline of ruthless prioritization.